Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. Click. You know what? You're doing great. I really felt called to pull this mug out today. We are doing great. Just remind yourself regarding the four agreements, although I'll question who wrote the four agreements because I'm questioning everything right now, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Just do your best. As long as you're doing your best, that is absolutely perfect. Okay. And it doesn't matter if your best is different than everybody else's best. Okay. So we're all doing great. We're all doing great. So we are talking today. I may be doing I have three videos I have to record today before I leave on our cruise. All right. Then I already have next week all pre-recorded. So just so you know, it might feel a little discombobulated from going from these kind of topics to, I think we did a conversation with Nikola Tesla. Okay. So just bear with me, and maybe you just need a little break. So come in and watch those episodes. I know there was Nikola Tesla, then we did a pendulum message with him. I can't remember what else is on the docket, but okay. So we are going to talk a little bit about learning to see clearly. All right. So I am getting some fresh ideas about where I'm going with my life right now and how I see us moving together in this community in terms of conversation. And I just want to explore that. I want to get it out before I leave on my trip so then I don't have to think about it. Okay. So I am going to, and I'm going to give you a little information about, I found out some information about Dr. Eric Berg. Do you know who Dr. Eric Berg is? He's very, very popular on YouTube, very outwardly extremely calm. He just is so nice. He just appears so nice, right? And I'm not saying he's not, but I am going to give you some information because that's going to lead into, it's kind of a public service announcement, and then it's going to lead into our conversation. All right. I did work with Mabel, my AI, to make sure that whatever I share with you about Dr. Berg is 100% accurate and not defaming or anything like that. I just want to be careful because not only I just want to be careful because it wouldn't be kind to do that, right? It has nothing to do with legalities at this point. It's just what is the right thing to do. Wow, what a concept. Okay, so yes, so I want to talk about something many of us are realizing that right now. So this isn't coming from one event. It's coming from a pattern, right? So I think we're all starting to see these patterns. It's a realization that we need to, this is where I'm at. It's my realization that I have to question everything and everyone more carefully. I don't have to question everything and everyone, only the ones that I am guiding my life by. Only the ones I am spending my time with, right? So, and I'm okay with that right now. I've come to terms with, I'm okay with the idea right now that I need to question everything. And I think that's going to be very healthy for us as we move forward. All right. Not only as a community here, but as society as a whole. And I think by questioning everything, it's going to force all of us as humans to be more honest and upright with what we support. And it'll probably, if we wanted a natural way to bring down the temperature of things, to bring down crime, to bring down, whatever, the more we force this new idea of everything will be questioned. We kind of relied on journalism to do that for us, right? Not kind of, but we did. And that has broken. That's broken at this point. So that's what I want to talk about today. I don't have any answers today, but this is where I see us moving. Okay. So learning to see clearly. And this is going to take some time. And just remember, we're all doing great because it is going to take some time. We've all been, and people are saying we've been played, we've been manipulated. Okay, fine. Okay. We were born into a system, and this is the system. All right. But that doesn't mean we have to internalize and be like, oh, we suck. We've been played, and it's like, okay. But now that I realize that, what am I going to do differently, right? So I think over 2026, we are going to have to continue looking at situations from a very calm perspective and talking a little bit to the SGs, but mostly so that we can learn our most deepest discernment skills. I don't think we have even scratched the surface, any of us, on the most effective way to discern, because it's very, and that's what they wanted. I mean, with the ads and the capitalism and social media and the confusion that's created, the flood the zone and the media, and it's just it's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting. But the light bulbs are coming on, click, click. And, I'm going to say we're on to them. I don't have the full picture yet, not by any means. I think we only have like 5% of the picture. But what I am clear about is my primary goal right now is to learn how to question everything, but not do it from a place of fear, not question everything from a place of anger, just politely question everything. And that goes for you questioning me, okay? Do not trust anyone unless they can prove to you that they are trustworthy. That's all I'm going to say. No, that's not all I'm going to say, but that's how I feel right now. All right. And again, I'm not even bringing this to you out of a place of fear at all. I'm bringing it to you from a place of enlightenment. The fear has been the last couple of weeks as things have come to light, and I've had to adjust to what's really going on. But now I'm coming, and I'm not 100% there, but I'm coming from a more of an enlightened, I can see more clearly now. I'm sure there's more to come that's going to have to add to this. But what I know is I have never been more clear, ever, about unsubscribing to all the apps. Because I don't know what kind of messaging, I'm done with the messaging in movies, TV shows. The only app that I'm subscribing to right now is YouTube. So sorry, Marsha, I'm going to cancel the Hulu. So I actually so you guys know I love that show. I've mentioned it before. I love the show Shrinking. That's on Apple TV. And I happen to have Apple TV free for 3 months because I bought a new laptop. And I went to watch it today. Very cautiously, I went to watch it because I haven't been able to, since I've been hearing about stuff, I haven't been able to bring myself to watch anything besides the Olympics. And even watching that, I'm sitting there questioning everything. Some good, some bad, right? So I'm just questioning things. But I turned the first episode on season 3 of Shrinking. The first 5 minutes, and Michael J. Fox is in it. Because the main character, what's his name? You know who it is. I can't recall his name. I got Michael J. Fox. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They have Parkinson's. Okay, so they're talking to each other. But the whole 5 minutes, there was at least 10 references to sex in the first 5 minutes of that episode. And I was like, nope, I can't do it. It's just so... And it's not that sex is dirty. It's just so, what? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to question everything for a while. I'm just going to question everything for a while. And as I'm questioning, I'm going to see so why did that trigger me? And I'm going to explore that. So it's not that we can completely ignore things. I don't think at this point we can completely ignore things. You guys have seen my evolution and my growth throughout the year. I could change my mind next week. You never know. When I come back from my vacation, I'll be like, okay, I'm very clear, which is fine. I'm following my guidance, which is everybody should be doing that. So I do think we need to look at stuff. I think we need to, as we're looking at stuff, not bombard ourselves with things, because I think we need to look at stuff so that we can see what is triggering us individually and clear that. All right, so clear those shadows. So I need to look at that. Like, why did that? Now, that might not have triggered you. You might have thought what they were saying was funny, which is fine. I mean, again, we're all going. So I'm not here saying that everybody should not enjoy that show or everybody should unsubscribe from their things. Although right now we've got issues with capitalism and these guys guys meaning whoever is, men or women, I just use guys in general, but whoever's making all this money and it's being removed from the people around the world. So we've got that issue too. We've got a lot of things going on. So there's a part of me that's not, and you guys, some of you you were doing this and I was doing it in different ways, but now I'm like, well, now this even gives me another reason, not just the financial, but like right now, I will listen to Stephen Colbert because he's doing things that is against what CBS wants. And right now, I trust that. I don't like CBS, but I do trust Stephen Colbert. So I'm not going to watch CBS until I feel like that has been broken too. And it might not be. So this is a huge discernment. I mean, more than I think we've ever dealt with before. And there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, but there's another part of me that's like kind of excited about it because I'm getting very clear about how I want to be in my life. And I wonder if you guys are too, Okay, boy, I got through like 2 sentences of my little outline here. So what I did is I pulled together, because this is how I use AI. Some people are like, how are you using it? How I use it is I like to pull together all my ideas. Like I'm thinking about this. I read this in the How to Read the Akashic Records. I want to incorporate that. I want to incorporate the astrology so that I can get a well-rounded picture of things. That's how I use AI. So then I don't have to spend, 3 weeks trying to make those things all come together and make sense. So that's how I use it. Okay, so that's what I did with this. So what I'm talking about today does pull in all of those things I just mentioned, plus the natal chart and all that. Okay, so I'm going to buzz through this because I am going to try to get through this in 30 minutes because, I got to get ready for my trip and I got 2 more videos to record. So, okay, so, let's see. Okay, first, let me start with the Dr. Berg. Do you guys know who Dr. Berg is? Very, very popular on YouTube. Okay. So I want to use Dr. Berg as an example of what I mean by this. Okay. And this is not to attack him, but because it illustrates what many of us are experiencing right now. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. So this is the information I could verify. Okay. I don't know if you do listen to Dr. Berg, you can find him on YouTube. He's got millions of followers. Okay. And he gives really good information. I don't know how accurate the information is. Very hard to know, right? You have to question. You got to question. So, first of all, he is a chiropractor, and that is not to take away the skills of a chiropractor. But what he talks about is not chiropractic, okay? He does not talk about chiropractic. He talks about every single function of health, okay? So just keep that in mind. He does have a massive YouTube health channel, and millions do trust him. The realization is, and this is proven, okay, so this isn't defamatory or anything like that. His son, who Mabel has gone out and told me that, yes, that is his son who is talking in this video. It's a short, okay, has stated that his father is deeply involved in Scientology, okay? I'm not here to debate Scientology, but I do have a feeling myself about it, okay? Based on what people who have been in that, what I would call a cult, allegedly, but I mean, come on. I mean, you can call us a cult, I guess. So, not very nice things have come out about that. So Scientology has listed him as a major donor. Okay. He is listed, because I said to Mabel, said, well, there's no proof he is Scientologist because he's never said it. And I said, yeah, but is he in the records? I'm sure that's public record, like him making donations, because his son has said he's made 7 million plus donations to Scientology. Now, the only thing, that's what his son said in that video. But so you could, if you wanted to see it, I'm not going to link it, but you could probably just search Dr. Eric Berg son or something like that. So what Mabel could verify is that he is at least the 500,000 level in their newsletter. So they've given him kudos for that level. So 500,000 and above. All right. So here's why I'm using this as an example. Because most of us had no idea. If anyone who follows him, did you know he was a Scientologist? And what I don't like about him not disclosing that, in fact, he's trying to hush his son down, okay? According to his son, allegedly, all right? I don't like that. It discredits him because he doesn't disclose that. Right now, I feel like I should go on my YouTube channel and tell you every organization I support, and I will do that because this is ridiculous. I think we all need to expect that. And then if somebody lies, it's like, okay, I'm done, you know? So right now, I'll just tell you publicly what I support is our food bank in our local town. I do give food to them. And I also give supplies to our women's center in town where I live. Sometimes I donate things to, well, I don't really donate money anymore. So it's really those two. I used to until some of those organizations have proven. I mean, Susan, I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I did like my sister, one of my sisters, and her husband and my husband and I, we did one of the walks and contributed. And I've been, for the longest time, I was supporting that organization. Yeah, look into that organization a little bit. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't have the proof written down here and I want to be careful. So, but how many of us had no idea? And I think that's really important if we're going to trust anybody at this point, that we know what they're contributing to, right? We know what they're contributing to. And it's not to judge him. It's like, okay, fine. If he wants to do that, that's fine. But I don't want to. I don't want to support that with my time or buying his products. So that's what it's about. It's not about being like, oh my God, what a jerk, or whatever. It's not about that, because we don't want to be in that energy at all. It's about clarity. Okay. It's about realizing that we really don't know people. We really don't know. And until I know for sure, then I am not going to pay attention to them until I know for sure. If I 6 months from now decide I'm going to start watching some shows again, I'm going to look deeply into those people who fund the show, the actors on the show, so I'm not saying entertainment's bad, but I certainly am, I can't even believe how called I am to do that now. And in the meantime, it's making me kind of feel like, oh, I can let a whole bunch of stuff go. Like it's like for me, and I don't know everybody in this community, but I am really feeling called to developing experiences for us in this community. Now, if we got together publicly, like there's several people where I live, close to where I live, who've been saying, hey, we should get together, you know? And instead of me sitting there watching Shrinking, there's a very real chance in 2026 that I will feel inspired to do that, to get together with like-minded people who we can have conversations with that we can trust, you know? And yeah, how do I know I can trust all of you? I don't know. But I'm not going to not reach out. We'll have to figure that out together. Okay? We're going to have to figure that out together. So what this gives broader, you know, this is the realization is we often don't know the full picture, okay? This is happening across many areas of our lives. So what I think I'm doing is not shrinking. I am reducing until, and then I'm going to be I'm looking at every book on my bookshelf now. Like I am right now reading Conversations with God. Before I continue reading that, I have got to look into the author of that. Really look into him. And then before I start, we in the Spirit Circle, we are going to read Mary Magdalene, Revealed. Well, I know we all have it now because we were about to start reading it, but I really need to look into the person who wrote that. I really need to do that before we go further. I am not saying everybody is not trustworthy. I think most people are. But I am not going to read. So I'm going to be very, very careful from now on. Look at how uncareful we've been, right? It's kind of interesting. So I think we need to look at doctors, government leaders, spiritual teachers, financial experts, media personalities, the whole thing, right? Each other. You know what I mean? Okay. So we are realizing that there is often more beneath the surface. That's just what we're realizing now. I think, we've always known that. I'm not saying we haven't known that, but this is tipping point time. And the astrology does support that. The astrology does. So we definitely want to question without fear. I've already talked about that. We want to question from awareness, and we want to question from responsibility. That is one of the messages we got in the Spirit Circle from the Lead Team Collective last month. Or no, it was the beginning of this month, I think. Take responsibility, or personal responsibility was the message. I love that now. I can totally see how their messages are coming to light. Questioning is responsibility. Okay? It's okay for us to question, but question from love. And question from love. That's all there is. Question from love. Okay, so on Sunday, I recorded a video already where I read the last chapter of How to Read the Akashic Records. I really felt drawn to that chapter. If you're in the Spirit Circle in the practice, you know that, because when I did Coffee with Karen yesterday, I was oh my God. Okay, now I do need to look into that author more, but right now we're just going with it. But that last chapter really shed some light on what's happening right now. And so that's on Sunday, coming up Sunday, the 22nd. I think we're going to post it then. Okay. So I want to pull in a little bit of that last chapter to kind of make sense of this conversation. All right. So the Akashic truth that she talked about in that now remember, this is her truth. Okay. Is there's always more than meets the eye. That's one of the things she said. I read them to you. She said there's 6 absolutes in life based on the Akashic records. Okay. The Akashic Records is what I understand, I may not be explaining this correctly, but the past, present, and future of humanity. Every single minute detail. Future, I think it's more like the possible paths it can go based on the past and the future and the current. Okay. So she says there's 6 absolutes. There's always more than meets the eye. Okay. So that's where I'm coming from, is now my lenses. What am I not seeing here? And it's not that I need to know everybody's secrets, but if you need to have a secret, the thing I think and I can only say this to you, you have to experience it yourself. I can't not tell you things about myself to save for the life of me. I just can't. It bugs the shit out of my husband because he's like, you disclose way too much shit about. It drives him nuts because I don't know how not to be an open book, So that I would prefer in people than people who have to hide their wounds, hide their shame. We don't need to hide our wounds and our shame, So I'm not saying I never do. I mean, but I think this is going to be intriguing to see where we go with this. Now, Diana Cooper does say in The Golden Future that we won't even be able to do that because we're going to see each other's auras. All of us are going to see each other's auras. So you can see your aura. You would know if you're not telling the truth. So that'll be interesting. But maybe this is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of starting to go there, right? And here's the thing. Dr. Berg now, if he starts getting pushback on this, he now gets to examine himself and say, okay, have I been deceiving? And is that what I want to be doing? I'm not saying he's deceiving. Maybe he hasn't been hiding it. I mean, it's just that he hasn't been disclosing it. Well, did we ask for the disclosure? No. Have you asked for any disclosure of me? I mean, you might have. I don't know. But if you want certain disclosures, let me know. I think we're going to have to get there at some point. Okay. But again, this isn't out of fear at all. I feel this is actually coming very strongly from love right now for me. Okay. So the other thing she talks about in the Akashic Records, again, if you listen, I read for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but I'm talking about stuff in between. And it's really interesting, the last chapter. So she says that based on the 6 absolutes, there are 3 ways to approach life: fear not, judge not, and resist not. Okay. So I want to sit with those for a while. And as we explore new ways of being, that's what I can kind of see where I kind of see us going in the future of this community is we are probably going to need to spend time exploring new ways of being, which is actually what this talk is all about right now. It's just new ways of being. We have to see clearly first. I did get a comment from somebody on the community yesterday. I got a sense that this person was just like here, dropped in, and hasn't been around. And I kind of did give them a little bit of a response because of that. It was pretty judgmental. They said, well, the problem with communities like this is how they started. If you want people to hear you, that's not a good way to start. It's just not. If you want people to actually hear what you have to say, try a different approach. So the person said, the problem with communities like this is you are partly to blame for the orange one still being in office. Okay. All right. I hear what they're saying when it comes to energy. I get that, but not a very nice way to help people learn, right? And I feel like if that person has really been a part of this community since the beginning, last November, October, if many of you have been here, you understand where we've been going. We were really in the weeds because that's where we needed to be. And when I say we, I mean I. So, and those who needed to be also, that's why you stayed here, because that's where you needed to be also. Our little lights were shining to each other. I need somebody like this. Come over here. I need to talk about this. So, but we were not sitting in constant fear ever. That is not my approach. I couldn't even begin to even, there were times where I was angry. Yeah. Every time I get a realization about something, there's time I had fear, of course. But we always, as we have progressed, we have evolved. Every time we have a conversation, it's like, okay, this is what I'm seeing. Like, I'm giving you information about Dr. Berg right now as an example, because I'm sure there's many more out there like that. But we're using it to evolve. We're using it to raise our vibrations, because we are also human, okay? So that person who left that comment is pretending like they have no shadows, is pretending like they can stay in the light constantly. That might be ideal, but we are human. We are living human experiences right now. And, frankly, I'm not that interested in not living a human experience. When we transition, we can be done with this. But you know what? I'm helping my higher self evolve. But I have to see things in order to evolve. Okay? So we're not perfect, but we're doing the best we can, and we're all doing great. We're all doing great. All right, that's where I'm going to leave this. I'll probably pick up, I didn't talk about a bunch of things, but I might pick that up in the next, I'll put out tomorrow. Okay? Because there's just some things I want to get out there before I leave on my trip. And then again, you're going to get like 7 days of like these pre-recorded videos before all this Epstein stuff started. I recorded them like a month ago. Okay? I was just recorded slowly, like an extra video here and there. When I come back, I don't know what approach I'm going to start taking. I think I don't know. I'm just going to wait and see. I've been following my intuition this whole time. So, but the purpose. And maybe I'll come back and just be like, okay, the purpose right now. I mean, it's really to be human, to look at the stuff, the shadows of society, which we're getting lambasted with right now, how those shadows of society have affected us, what has become our own shadows, how to clear those, how to heal those. That will raise our vibration. So that would be, I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go with it, but it's going to be like this. And then we're going to be asking questions still. So all I know is my first thing that's in my head right now is how to create the new. How to create the new. What's coming? What can you do in your life right now that's new? And that excites me. How is this going to what are going to be our new experiences? Where do we want to what new things we want to put our attention to? And I'm excited about that. And I think that's where this is leading. So, all right, let me know what you think, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.